Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations. I am here with a tall folio that I'm going to make for a journal I'm currently creating. Let me grab the cover. So this is the tall folio cover. I haven't put anything in it quite yet, but what I've done is normally a lot of people take their paper and fold it what we call hamburger style. If you teach school at all, you'll understand what hamburger style is. So you fold it in half along the 11-inch side. But for these, what I've done is fold them in half so that they're tall. So it's still an 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper that's going in here. It's just sideways from how most people do it. What I've done is printed this folio kit out from Stephanie. She challenged me to come up with something that I could put into my newest journal. However, just the straight kit was not going to work for me. It was going to be too small. It wasn't going to be the right size. As a matter of fact, what I learned is some of the pieces were going to be too wide for this. So what I've done is it comes with two papers that are, you can print them out on the backs of things. So for example, let me just grab some of these. These are the pieces, and then I printed some of these papers out on the back of them as well. So I've kind of mixed things up and done things a little bit differently from how Stephanie has done it, which I think is totally fine. And of course, that's part of any challenge, is to come up with something new. What I did was I actually had to reduce everything down to about 70% to get it to actually fit inside of my folio. 80% was still too big. I took a couple of different runs at things, and this is what I came up with. This will go inside. It'll probably be the middle signature, and it will still have paper probably on the inside, so I need to leave room for paper. And this is just going to wrap around that middle signature. That's at least my plan for now. Of course, all bets are off when that actually happens. My plan is, let's put a little maybe cover piece on the front. This is just a piece of that I printed out. I printed out the pink. This is one of the pieces from the set. I want to do the corner differently. So I am going to, and I always flip this over to make sure that I have everything lined up correctly. I'm going to use this corner. It's really a pretty corner. Of course, then once I do that, then I have to put it down on the table and hope that nothing's moved, which of course this time everything moved. So let me get these corners punched. So I have my corners punched, but of course we must distress everything. I'm going to run around the edges. It actually helps to bring out the edges, helps it to stand out a little bit. I do like distressing the edges of just about everything that I use. Yes, I'm running around this twice because I feel like it usually needs 2 coats. And I am using gathered twigs. That's my favorite one. And we're going to glue this down, but I think I may do a little assembling before I put it on there. So that's going to fit on there, but I was thinking that maybe a little bit of this would work behind it. Let's see what we can do. Just to put just a wee bit of something for texture. Just a wee bit of texture. Let's go this end. All right, I'm going to cut it about right there. And we're going to put that down underneath of this. So I think what I'm going to do, and I've done this in the past, I'm going to glue this rather thickly. We'll put the cheesecloth on the back of it, and then we can it'll go through both the cheesecloth and everything else. So nice and thick. We're going to put the cheesecloth on the back. That way we can kind of line it up and feel like, okay, we've got that where we want it. And I just want it sticking out just a little bit. This looks like it's not going to stick out much, but that's okay. We'll cut some of this off again. And then I'm going to just stick it down. You can just see a wee bit of it. Oop, let's cut that a little bit. There we go. And now once we stick it down, and I'm going to try to line it up between all the corners. There we go. Now it's kind of lined up. You can see there's just a little bit sticking out. It gives it a little bit of texture, raises it up a little bit, covers up any imperfections. All right, now I'm going to glue this part down. And I do like to put a little dab out on the corners just so that they stick down, but I don't want to put a whole lot in the corners because it'll come through. And we don't want that on our piece. So like there's a little too much there. I'm just going to wipe it off a little bit. And we're going to put this now as kind of sort of a label on the front. And you may notice I've put it a little bit more to the right so it's not exactly even, because remember this is going inside of a journal. And then I like this little saying, every rose has its thorns, and I thought we could put that down here at the bottom. Let's add some glue to that and just glue that down as well. There we go. Now to work on the inside of this. And the kit comes with several layered pockets, so you've got multiple pockets here. And I do plan to use both of these. And I'm going to put everything on the inside of this for a change. So I also have an envelope that comes with the kit. And this is some of the faux lace that also comes with the kit. And I thought this would make a cute pocket as well. Now comes the fun part. We're going to assemble all of these. Now these did come already grunged up, if you will, or however you want to call that. So I'm not going to take the time to redo that, but I do want to throw a thumb hole punch into this. And I find this easier to do if I flip this over so I'm not distracted by any patterns. And that way I can line this up more to the middle. So I thought that would be good to have a thumb hole punch in that. So then I am going to go ahead so that I kind of cover that up. Go ahead and go around this real quick. I do have black soot somewhere, but I think I'm not going to worry about that right now. That would have been a better color because this is more of a gray. And then we layer these two pieces on. So I'm just going to go around the edges real quick. And I want to move this. Yes, this is my grungy board that I use for my crafting. And I just want a little bit along this edge and a little bit along this edge. I wanted to do this first and layer this up so that I can line everything up. And then I plan to glue the whole pocket down. And then this is a smaller pocket. Again, we're only going along the edges. And Stephanie does have a wonderful tutorial on YouTube on how to make the folio the correct way. But this is just my version. And so we're going to put this pocket here. Kind of wipe. Let me grab a paper towel. I keep a roll of paper towels right by my work surface. Oh, shoot. Well, that's the problem with this glue. It does tend to give you a little bit of extra time. So a little bit of extra time is always good, but not when you're trying to wipe things off. All right, I'm going to set that one aside, and we're going to go ahead and glue these two together as well. So this piece is made to go over the top of this piece. Again, layered pockets. I love these, and I'll probably use a few more of these throughout my little journal too. So you want to leave the top open basically. If you close the top, then it just becomes a decorative piece and we can't actually put anything in it. So we're going to just put a little bit of glue along there and glue this piece to the front of the other piece. Now we have our layered pieces. We need to decide where we want to put everything. And I kind of sort of have an idea, but I don't really know, so you're going to get to see some of my process. I know that I want to put this piece over here, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. And then we need to ink this up because you can see I kind of cheated. I didn't really fussy cut all the way around it. And I want to cover up some of that white and make it not quite so white. So this piece, I think, I want to put down here. And that will be a pocket there. And then this piece I'm going to put here. And then this piece I'd like to put up here, and I think I'll put this one here. Perfect. All right, so now it's just time to glue these down. I'm going to just, again, run just a little bead of glue. This is easier, I think, if you use one of the glues that has a little tip on it, and that will let you get just closer to the edge, instead of having to try to do like what I'm doing, where I'm just trying to get a tiny bit down the edges. We're going to glue this to the bottom here. And again, we want to leave a little gap. Don't butt anything up right against this seam. Make sure you leave a little space, or else nothing will fit. Then we're going to glue around the edge of this, and I'm going to clean, I've got dry glue all over the tip of this. Let me clean some of that off. So now that we have all of these layered up, we only have to run the glue around this part to glue it down. And so we're going to run that glue right along the edge there, and a little bit there, and a little bit there. Oops. There we go. So one of the things that I have made are some pretty tall tags. So if I put a tag there, I need to actually put this a little bit higher, but not too high. And one of the things, you know what I want to do? I decided I don't want to actually have glue along this edge, so I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to actually leave that open, because then you can tuck things behind here that are actually bigger than the pocket. And I think I'm going to do that on this one too, so I'm only going to glue along these two edges, not along the leading edge. And that will give me a little bit more room if some of these pieces are a little bit bigger, or if I want to add other pieces that are bigger. And that gives me a little bit more freedom to do that sort of thing. And we're going to put this one right down here in the corner. And then last but not least is this little envelope. It's really cute, and what I've done is, again, I've printed out on the inside these really pretty pieces. And I think I'm going to go this way, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue this shut. I hadn't done that previously. Just run a wee bit of glue along that edge and a wee bit of glue along this edge. And fold that up. So Stephanie's printables are really easy to work with. That's one of the things I like. And then this can be a pocket as long as we only glue down those edges right there. And then we also have a little space where we can tuck it inside. This one I'm going to go ahead and go around all three edges. So we may have to find something else to put in there that may be smaller, but that's okay. And I'm going to put that about right there. Now remember, I think these are going to probably have pages in the middle. I may end up putting this in the very center, but I may not. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the back blank. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. So I have these 3 tags, and I was going to go ahead and put some lace on them. And again, I have printed on both sides. This is a really lightweight cardstock. I'm having trouble actually finding any heavyweight cardstock right now, but I like to throw some lace on my tags, and we're going to, maybe, let's see, do I like it better this way? No, I think I like it better this way. We're going to go this way. All right, so I just fold it into a V like that, and then I use a tiny attacher. So this is the Tim Holtz Ideology Tiny Attacher. You could use a regular stapler as well, but I love this for just stapling on some lace, and it's really quick to do also. So there's a tag for there. Let's make a couple more tags, and that's a better size tag. It's not quite so big. Where's my tiny attacher? There it is. Honestly, I would lose my brain if it wasn't permanently attached. So knowing where things are some days is more difficult than others. And see, that fits beautifully down in there. And then we're going to do one more tiny attacher. And I'm going to go like that. So I just fold it up so that it makes a V. That's kind of my thing. Some people fold them over and make the tab at the top that way as well. And this one should fit right up here. And now we have a little bit of lace sticking out of the top. Ooh, I love this. All right. So this is done now, and I am just going to start loading up these pockets. We have there's some cute littler pieces in here. So these are definitely all parts that came with this kit. I'm trying to find some of the smaller ones. Ooh, there's a tiny one. That would be perfect in that little pocket. And then we can put something slightly bigger in that pocket. And then we can put some, oop, that flipped over. That can go down in this pocket. And this is kind of the fun part, is just deciding where you want to put things. So some things are going to be smaller, and I like to layer them with different colors. So you can see there, those two go in there, and maybe we'll put a third one down in there that's a little bit smaller, and that will fit in there. Oh, you know what? We need something that will fit down inside of this piece. I wonder, let's see, will this fit in there? Oh, yes, perfect. So that's going to actually go down into that envelope. And then let's just start loading some things up behind this envelope as well. This is a really tall tag. Let's see where I can put that. This is even taller than a regular tag. So we're going to slide it there, and yes, it overlaps a little bit over that, and that's okay with me. Let's see, can we fit two things in there? Let's see if there's another little piece that will fit inside this envelope. Oh, perfect. So now we have two things in the envelope even. And if you wanted to, you can just tuck that into there, or I could make a little piece that will go over that. And I may come back and do that. We'll see. And there is my tall folio, all ready now to go inside of my journal. So I hope you've enjoyed this walkthrough and watching me make this. I hope I've inspired you to be creative today.